As the first warmth of spring breathes life into the home, the sunroom becomes a cherished retreat, a space where sunshine, serenity, and creativity come together. This video celebrates a sunroom spring makeover centered on handmade imperfect beauty, a design philosophy deeply rooted in authenticity, craft, and quiet elegance. Following American seasonal decorating traditions, we explore how to transform this space into a charming sanctuary using artful imperfections and handcrafted treasures. From vintage finds to sun-washed textiles, this makeover honors spring not just with florals and color, but with meaning, texture, and soul. Handmade Imperfect beauty draws from a mix of Wabi-Sabi and Rustic Americana, finding grace in aged wood, textured clay, and sun-faded fabrics. It honors the artist's touch and the story behind every object. In the sunroom, this means leaning into pieces that show their history, hand-thrown pottery with fingerprints still visible, frayed-edge linen drapes, or a rocking chair handed down generations. These aren't flaws, they're features that make a space come alive. While spring usually calls to mind bright florals and vibrant hues, this makeover leans toward warm neutrals, sun-bleached white, pale clay, soft olive, and honeywood brown. Accents come through naturally, like the green of a potted herb or the dusty rose of a woven throw. This subdued palette reflects not just spring's awakening but the gentle, grounding nature of handmade decor. The result? A space that breathes, glows, and feels welcoming every time light floods in. Textile layering is essential to soften the sunroom's hard lines. Imagine a bench piled with hand-woven cushions, each slightly mismatched in tone and texture. A rough-edged linen curtain flutters in the breeze, its hem uneven from natural shrinkage. On the floor lies a faded kilim rug, full of pattern and patina. These pieces don't match, they harmonize. Their inconsistencies bring depth, character, and a lived-in warmth to the space. Incorporating vintage furniture adds immediate charm. Think of a whitewashed wood coffee table with chippy paint revealing years of use, or a wrought-tin side chair with a newly upholstered seat. Hand-repaired items, such as a cabinet with replaced knobs made from found wood, tell stories. This approach isn't about chasing trends, but about curating comfort through time-worn treasures that feel rooted and personal. Spring is nature's way of decorating, and in this makeover, that principle carries indoors. Gathered branches in handmade ceramic vases, wildflowers in old mason jars, and bowls of fresh lemons double as visual treats and aromatic enhancers. Instead of manicured bouquets, loose and spontaneous arrangements echo the imperfect beauty theme, organic, casual, and wonderfully spring-like. Rather than mass-produced prints, the sunroom walls are adorned with soulful, tactile art. Woven wall hangings in sun-faded hues, abstract watercolors on raw canvas, and framed pressed flowers elevate the room with handcrafted charm. DIY creations, such as clay tiles with hand-carved botanical motifs, become personalized decor. These pieces reflect creativity and the quiet joy of making. For storage and display, built-in wooden shelves made from reclaimed boards add a raw, rustic touch. Their uneven grain and visible knots celebrate natural imperfection. Display handmade pottery, vintage books, and potted succulents here to form a living gallery of textures and tones. Layer in small found objects, sea glass, feathers, or hand-carved spoons for added interest. one of the sunroom's most magical qualities is light. Embrace it with gauzy curtains and sheer fabric panels that diffuse rather than block. Keep windows clean and unadorned when possible. Air circulation is key. Wide open windows invite in spring scent. Nothing store-bought can compare to the way sunlight hits a hand-dyed linen or dances across uneven glass. Locally made pottery and clay decor infuse authenticity into the room. Cups with uneven rims, vases with thumbprints, and dishes in muted glazes embody both function and form. Their tactile beauty complements the space's sensory experience. Use them to serve tea, hold blooms, or simply sit on a windowsill catching light and shadows. Macramé isn't just for boho styles, it shines here in its earthy, naughty glory. Think driftwood-mounted wall pieces, rope plant hangers, or a curtain tieback crafted by hand. These natural fibers soften modern edges and enhance the handmade feel. Their presence offers not only visual interest, but a sense of artistry grounded in human hands. This makeover honors sustainability through upcycling and reuse. Old window frames become mirrors. Discarded tablecloths transform into cushion covers. A mismatched chair set, painted in soft chalk tones, gains new life. These choices celebrate not just resourcefulness, but a connection to community, craft, and mindful living, an essential aspect of modern handmade decor. Part of the joy is creating. From salt dough ornaments to hand-painted terracotta pots, this makeover invites viewers to try their hand at something new. Even a simple project like stitching a pillow cover or stenciling a design on fabric adds intimacy to the space. Imperfect hands make perfect memories. Create a living wall with potted herbs on open shelves, or cluster lavender, mint, and rosemary in handmade planters. These plants are functional, fragrant, and reflect the season's energy. Choose unglazed clay pots or hand-painted ceramics to hold them. Imperfections in glaze and form only enhance their charm. No sunroom is complete without a cozy reading nook. A thrifted armchair with a handmade quilt thrown over the back, a footstool covered in patchwork, and a softly glowing lamp with a paper shade make for a dreamy escape. Every object here has a story, and that story makes the sunroom feel like home. This makeover doesn't stop at the eyes. Incorporate handmade soy candles with essential oils, or place a bowl of dried herbs near the window. The scent of beeswax, lavender, or pine resin adds to the sensory experience. These homemade elements invite stillness and mindfulness into the space. A wind chime made from driftwood and ceramic beads, or a vintage record player spinning gentle folk music, brings life to the sunroom's ambience. Sounds help complete the sensory world of the space. And when every item is chosen with intention, even silence becomes golden. This new sunroom is more than a pretty backdrop. It becomes a place for morning journaling, tea with friends, seed planting, or simply watching clouds drift by. It reconnects us with slowness and purpose. These moments, enriched by handmade beauty, stay with us long after the season shifts. This spring, give your sunroom more than a style update, give it soul. By embracing handmade imperfect beauty, you craft a space that feels alive, warm, and entirely your own. Through texture, time-worn charm, and the marks of human touch, you create a spring sanctuary that breathes with sunlight, scent, and spirit. Let your sunroom tell a story, not of perfection, but of presence, patience, and personal expression.